Welcome to the Bad Mom Show, where we flip the script on shame, shed light on what's made you feel invisible, and take your story back. It is time to step into that bold, baddie mom you were created to be. Around here, BAD stands for blessed, already approved of, and divinely designed, because you are not a bad mom. You are a leader. You were chosen for your family on purpose. You are divinely designed and anointed as the heart of your home, and you can confidently own your mantle of leadership as a fiery woman to lead with boldness, not burnout. This is your space to reclaim the parts of your story that have felt like weaknesses and discover they were actually your superpowers all along. It is time to shine as a BAD mom. Are you with me? Let's go. Hey, and welcome back to the Bad Mom Show, where around here you are bad in the best way because you are blessed, already approved of, and divinely designed as the heart of your home. And today I'm excited that you are here. Every time you come in here, I hope that you are getting filled in a way that you need, whether you're out for a run or a walk, or you just dropped the kids at carpool and you got a minute alone in the car, you're just sitting with your coffee. I am so appreciative of you being here. So thank you. And I hope you're having a great day. All right. Well, speaking of being the heart of your home, I have an event coming up on May 1st. I actually hosted it in December. It was incredible. I just felt the Lord say, do it again. There are more women that need this experience, these teachings, and this room, this space. That's what I provide is the space, and the Lord comes in, and I'm telling you, He speaks to every single person that gets in that room in a deeply personal and honest way. It's your opportunity to leave busy at the door and really get still. It's the thing that we need to do, but we don't make time for enough. And get honest with yourself and with God about the things that are desires in your heart, the things that have held you back, the things that have kept you stuck, the lies that have influenced your beliefs. All of it matters so much because you are the heart of your home. And as the heart of your home, you impact your home in a very unique and special way. So if any of that speaks to you, May 1st is the day. It's a Friday. There's a welcome and worship night the night before on Thursday, April 30th. I would absolutely love for you to be here. It is an intimate gathering. I don't let it get big because I really truly believe that true growth happens in these intimate spaces where we can really connect personally as a group. You get to know each other, and you get to see that you're not alone in your struggles, whether it's personally, whether it's in motherhood, whether it's in marriage. All of it is stuff that we can relate to, but it's getting in a room of women like this where you realize I actually am not alone in this, and there's more to my story. And God has a lot to say about that. So I really hope you'll join me, and it's going to be great. You can go to www.theteresatodd.com/awaken. And the details will be there. I will include that in the show notes, but I just wanted to put that out there as we're talking about the heart of your home. And today's message is very much so about being the heart of your home, because your leadership is very significant. Side note, if you're watching this and I'm a little shifty in my seat, it's because I just had a hip replacement. That's right. No, I am not old enough to be in the general population of hip replacements. Thank you very much. But I did, in fact, have a hip replacement. If you follow me on social media, you've probably seen my stories, even some posts. If you don't follow me, why not? Let's go. Come on, at the Teresa Todd. And I've been sharing the journey. It's actually my second hip replacement. So we did the left last year. We took care of the right, only on like day 6 of post-op. So it's a little achy right now. I'm sitting in a chair that normally I wouldn't be sitting in, but I wanted to bring this message to you. It matters. And honestly, I needed something that made me feel like myself again. You know, when you're like just resting and recuperating, getting still is very important. I've been talking to God a lot, but I was like, you know what? I have a message and I'd like to go share it. And so here I am. Yeah. But if I'm a little shifty in my seat, that's fine. Okay. So back to the message. We're not talking about hip replacements today. Back to the message. The message is about you and the version of you that is leading your home. And this is a topic very dear to my heart because I have realized from my own personal experience as a mother and my beliefs about myself as a leader, how impactful that is to how you show up in your home and your spheres of influence. If you're not a mother already, this might impact how you feel about becoming a mother. This might impact you if you're planning on being a mother, and this might be some hesitations you have. So tune in, or well, you're here, you're tuning in, but scoot in, really take in this message today. And again, these are things that we talk about at Awaken the Heart of Your Home. So really getting in the room and diving deeper into these things is incredibly helpful because we all need this work. And the thing with leadership and motherhood is I truly believe that the biggest lie out there, and that most of us have at one time or another, if not right now, believed is that you are just a mom, that motherhood is something that perhaps took away from your purpose, that it's not very significant, that it's not sort of viewed as credibly as a quote actual leadership role, whether that's in business or if you have a side business, striving for those leadership positions. Society attaches leadership and accolades, right? And when you think about a leader, do you honestly consider yourself one? Just think about that. Because when we put just a mom, it's not your fault for thinking that way. It is sort of portrayed that way in a lot of ways. When the first question someone asks you when they meet you after what's your name is, what do you do? Right? And how often does that question leave you with a sinking feeling in your stomach like, oh, how do I answer this? Well, you know, well, I'm just a mom, or, oh, well, I'm a mom first, but, there's always like an attachment to it. It's like, it's not enough to be like, yeah, I run my home. I'm a boss. I'm a mom. Okay. I'm a leader. We don't answer it that way. And that just really implies a lot. Like, I'm just here. I'm just surviving. I'm just here to serve. I'm just barely getting through my day. I'm just trying to hold it all together. I'm just managing everybody else's needs except my own. And I just feel what? Fill in the blank. I just feel lost. I just feel alone. I just feel like purposeless. It's okay to admit it here. That's what the show is about. But the truth is, none of that is true. And the real issue isn't about how much you do, because, again, if we think about traditional views of leadership, you might attach that to, well, I have to do more, or maybe while I'm being a mom, I should be going back to school for something so that I can have a position to add to my, you know, title, that mom isn't enough. Um, but that's not what makes a real leader a leader. And so the issue isn't what you're doing, it's who you believe you are in doing it, right? Yes, there are mundane tasks, but in every shape of leadership, there are mundane tasks. So it's not about the doing, it's about what you are believing about who you are while you're doing it. The real leadership doesn't come from what you know, right? If that was the case, we know a lot, and there's too much information out there at our fingertips. We'd all be freaking rock star leaders if that was the case. I have stacks of books on leadership, okay? We know enough, or we have enough information available to know enough. The issue is we are leading from a deeper place, and that is a belief system. And that belief system is built on a story. And that story is something that was formed many, many years ago. So we're going to get into this today. One second. Okay. So let's really set this up. Most women, if we're honest, don't actually see themselves as leaders. Yes, you know that you run your home and you're in charge, but like a leader, when you think of qualities of a leader, what do you think of? Maybe you think of character traits. Like some people are just built for leadership. I'm not. Some people just have it naturally. And maybe that's like something that you don't believe comes naturally to you. Maybe you think it's a personality trait, like, oh, they're courageous, um, you know, they're outgoing, they're a people person. Leaders are, go-getters, they're determined, they have high energy, and I just don't have those things. Maybe you think leadership is something that you earn, like in a traditional business sort of sense, and that you don't have the qualifications yet. Or maybe it's something that you believe you'll become once you fill in the blank, become more organized, once you read the books, once you fix yourself enough, right? Once you have taken enough courses on being a calm parent, then you'll know how to lead well. Maybe once you are just patient enough with your kids, then you know you're a good leader. Once you have it all together, once you're like all those other moms. See how we do this? But that's not what true leadership is. It doesn't start when you achieve X, Y, and Z. You already are a leader, right? It's not when we have it all together because, like, you know, hate to hate to tell you, but I don't know if that ever happens, right? That's called perfection, and there's only one perfect one, and that was Jesus. So we can just let that go. It starts with you. It starts with your influence. It's how you enter a room, your presence. People experience that. It's how you speak. What is your tone? It's the energy you give off. It's how you carry yourself. It is built on belief. So, yes, you are already leading your home. The question is, what version of you is leading it? And most of us are not showing up from our true identity, that true identity that was put in you before you were even born. And honestly, many of you don't even know who that is. And that is okay, right? It's just really important to be aware of. So we show up from the story of our lives. It's that narrative from the past that plays on a loop unconsciously without you even realizing it every single day in your head. Now, we've talked about neuroscience a bit, and I'm not going to go into detail here, but it's really important to understand that that's how you're wired. Like, this is how our brains work. And our stories are there to inform our beliefs and our expectations. It's your brain's way of trying to protect you by layering stories from the past into your present. It's trying to protect you from the things that harmed you, the places where you did get hurt, the places where things were spoken over you, or you perceived something about yourself that you were bad, or something about you was not fitting in, it was too much, or you never measure up, right? Things like that. This narrative has now become on autopilot. So that story is influencing your beliefs, which then influence your expectations of yourself, how others are going to receive you, and your perceptions of what happens, because your brain will constantly seek proof of evidence in your daily life to prove what you believe is right. That is how our brains are wired. So it's extremely important to understand your story. And if the story running in the background sounds like things like, such a mess, why can't I get myself together? Or I can never keep up with my day. I am always behind. Or I should be doing better than this. Or you're failing. You're not cut out for this. You are not meant for this. Other women are better at this than you are. You are just not meant to be a mom. Any of that ever ring true? And you might not even realize that those thoughts are happening. And you definitely, if you don't realize they're happening, you would not realize how much they are shaping you, but they are. We are a product of what we believe, and our lives are seen through that lens. So, when that information comes to the forefront of your mind, unless you have a way of becoming aware of it, you find the evidence of it and it just reinforces that story that's hurting you. And then you continue showing up as a broken leader. Now, I will say, we're all broken leaders, okay? But it's choosing to operate from that brokenness or choosing to say, okay, I see that. That is a part of my story, but that does not define me. And that's a big step. It takes work, but it is a big step in how you show up in the world and how you lead. Because if you believe you're a mess and you can't get it together, how do you think you're going to show up? You're showing up stressed. You might come down the stairs already frustrated with your kids, expecting a mess, right? Expecting that there's chaos and expecting that you're part of it. Maybe you are kind of all over the place, right? You can't find things. There's just this like stressed energy. If you believe you're always behind and you can't keep up, what happens? You show up with anxious, hurried energy. You show up overwhelmed and you have a rushing, an anxious energy in you. I know this one. Like I relate to this. Think of the morning when you're trying to get kids out the door and it's like the anxiety is starting to build. You might not even be saying anything. Everybody's feeling it. And all of a sudden your kids start responding anxiously too, right? Hey friend, I am so excited to share this with you. I am hosting my event, Awaken the Heart of Your Home, a spring session on Friday, May 1st here in Tampa, Florida. This gathering is something I wish I had years ago. It is a space where we can come together as women, as moms, and slow down. We get to leave the busy schedule at the door and truly create the space to get honest with ourselves and with God about where we're at in our season, what our dreams are, and what's getting in the way of us fulfilling them. This is your opportunity to be real, to hear from God in a personal way, and to walk away with greater clarity, conviction, connection with other like-minded women, and a bolder belief in your calling and purpose as a leader in your home. You carry a divine calling, and you were chosen for such a time as this. But the world keeps us busy and distracted, and we have lost sight of that authority. This is your time to reclaim it. We do this work together because we were created for connection, and we heal in connection. I kept it intimate though, so space is limited. If this speaks to you at all, I would love for you to reach out to me and I will share details with you. Again, it's happening on Friday, May 1st with a welcome and worship the night prior, and it will most definitely change you. There is no way you will leave that room the same. I hope to see you there. I can't wait. If you believe that you're failing, you will most likely show up in a defeated way. You might even show up with lethargy, right? Just exhausted, tired. What's the point of trying, right? Why bother? That kind of attitude. Just kind of like a give up hopelessness. Or you might really come out fighting. You might come out angry. You might just straight up be pissed. Let's just say it. Because you are beating yourself up and telling yourself that you stink at this, that you are a failure. That doesn't feel very good, especially when you walk into a room with your family and all you're believing is failure, right? And if you're believing you're not enough, you will absolutely show up with insecurity and you will show up with fear and you will show up with uncertainty. And the way you see yourself not only is the way you show up, but it is what is felt. It is what is experienced by the people around you. And again, this is no shame. This is just a truth that we need to come to terms with, right? As the heart of your home, you influence the tone, the energy, just the overall presence of what is the tone of your home. And it's not going to be perfect all the time. This is not aiming for perfection, but in a general sense, what is it? And what is your general tone, right? How is it feeling internally? Is there just angst all the time? Are you frustrated? Are you overwhelmed and stressed? Are you just like ready to throw in the towel, like give up because you're so tired of feeling like not enough? This matters. This matters so much, not just to your family, but to you. Because your leadership and your beliefs are a version of what you believe is true of you. And not only is your home experiencing that, but you're living in that, right? And we don't want our kids to learn that, obviously. So then you put more pressure on yourself. We know the whole like more is caught than what's taught. And I know for myself, like I know when I'm showing up with frustration or irritation, my kids, I can tell they change, right? They sense it. They might quiet down. They're trying to keep the peace. Or maybe people kind of like tiptoe away. They're like, oh, don't want to be around that, right? And we don't want that. We want to be sturdy leaders. We want to bring a healthy energy to our homes. And truly, you have it in you, but you can't lead from a belief you don't have in yourself already. You can't lead with authority and confidence and boldness if you don't believe that about yourself, right? So it's this position that's been reduced to just a mom, and then it's also this way that we've approached it from a broken place that says, well, I'm never going to measure up anyway. And so it's like we've reduced ourselves, right? You can almost feel it, how you shrink back. And then you believe, yeah, like I don't matter. I am alone. My needs don't matter. I have lost my purpose. And the cycle continues, right? It's a cycle of defeat and hopelessness. And it is not from God. I'm telling you that right now. So we're going to go a little deeper here, okay? So we already talked about this every day. Without really realizing it, you are coming into agreement with these beliefs. Not every thought that you have is true. But if we're not aware of it, then those thoughts are becoming our truths. Is your thought, like when you come into your home or you get up in the morning, like, I am a freaking awesome mom? Is that your first thought? Or is it like, oh, I'm so far behind. My to-do list is already running. How am I ever going to do all of this? It's a sense of defeat, right? Are you saying to yourself, I love this season and I'm in a great place right now? Or are you telling yourself, I'm always behind? I'm always behind. I'm playing catch up. Do you tell yourself, I am doing my best and that's good enough? Or are you telling yourself that you should be better? Do you feel the difference? Those thoughts don't just stay in our head, they influence us. They get in our bodies, they propel our choices, your actions, your words. It shapes how you speak, what you expect of others, but also how you respond. Have you ever caught yourself like answering your kid before they even finish what they're saying? Because you're already assuming you know how it's going to go. Or maybe there's one that kind of really triggers you and you already expect something negative out of them. So you respond in an overly, intense way when they haven't really even done anything. That's all because of this story up here. So it's so important that we have to, as the Bible says, take our thoughts captive. Not everything you think is true. In fact, most of the thoughts we have in the day, because they're so automatic, go without check. And I know I've said this before, but I would say it again. Like, I think it's like 85 or 90% of those thoughts are negative. So imagine if you are literally never checking your thoughts and the majority of them are negative all day about yourself, about how you lead, about your home, about your kids, about your spouse. Like, what do you think the tone of your home is? Like, how can it be anything joyful and positive and peace and calm and all the things we want it to be? That's how we're believing, right? Okay. So we realize we need to become aware of those agreements that you have made, that I have made, we all have made, if we want to change them, right? We cannot keep agreeing with things that diminish the true identity and the true spirit of who you are, who God created you to be, right? You are needed in your home and you are needed to lead from a place of authority and confidence and clarity and conviction. And that looks very different on you. You will show up very differently when you are leading that way. So, what does it look like to actually shift? How the heck are we doing this? Well, it's not by trying harder. It's not by giving yourself another, list of things to get better at or fix. And it's certainly not berating yourself and blaming yourself for, every negative attitude in your home. That's not what we're saying here. But it is this cycle, the stopping the cycle, catching it and coming back to truth. We got to catch the lies, break the agreement, and come back to truth. So I want you to imagine for a moment. Imagine a recent incident where, something happened or you woke up already feeling defeated, whatever it was, hopeless, less than, not qualified, far behind, too far behind, a mess, a failure, or you just were feeling it or something happened with your kids or your spouse and you got triggered, right? You're not operating in alignment with who you truly are, your true identity. You're operating out of a reactivity, a response in the moment. Right before the trigger happened, before you had to yell to regain control of the room or you snapped and you said something that you wish you could take back. What were you thinking in that moment before it all came undone? Just think back to that because you were thinking something. What were you thinking in that moment? Maybe even write them down. Once you've identified what those thoughts were, maybe it's, I feel completely out of control. I don't know how to handle this situation. I'm tired. I'm overstimulated, whatever it is. How did that make you feel? This is really important to get honest about. How did it make you feel? And then after you can identify that, I want you to ask yourself, what were you believing about yourself in that moment? This is the honesty piece. What were you believing about yourself? Maybe if your thoughts were, I feel out of control, it made me feel scared. It made me feel panicked. It made me feel like I needed to regain control. What were you believing about yourself in that moment? That maybe I'm not a good mom. I don't know how to control situations with my kids. I'm a failure. I was really believing that about myself. And then I want you to ask yourself, what's true instead? And if you don't know what's true instead, this is a great opportunity for you. I want you to ask God to tell you what is true about you instead, because He will tell you. And the truth is, you don't need to become a better leader by putting on more pressure to get it right. You don't need another skill or qualification. You need a new belief system, right? You need one rooted in truth. And we all need this. And it's not a one and done. But the more often you can slow down this spiral and catch those lies and say, you know what? I see it. I hear it. Oh, here it comes again, reminding me, telling me I'm a failure. Well, thank you. Thank you, brain, for trying to protect me in this moment. But Lord, what do you say about me? Oh, that's right. You say that I am called to be their mother, that you chose me on purpose with great purpose, and that you don't make mistakes. So I'm not going to agree with that lie anymore. Yep, I see where it comes from, and I'm not going to come into agreement with anymore. I'm going to agree with what you say about me, God, that I am made for this, that I was chosen for my family on purpose, that I have gifts that are needed in this family, that I am a strong leader, that I am confident and courageous, that I do carry divine authority, and I don't need to earn that, and I don't need to prove that. I need to just walk in it. See how that's so different? That is a belief. That is a conviction in your heart. And you have to practice this. You're going to have to practice saying this out loud. You're going to have to practice catching the moments. You're not going to catch them all. But the more frequently you can do this, the less often you're going to go there so quickly. And if you do go there, you have the opportunity to say, I mess up. And this is a beautiful gift. And leaders, good leaders, have humility. Good leaders are able to admit when they mess up. And you can go and repair it and say, that was my fault. That was me. Mommy was feeling down or stressed or whatever it was. And I said something I shouldn't have said, or I reacted too harshly. That was my fault. And I am sorry. And can you forgive me? That is a sign of a strong leader, right? Who shows, hey, I'm imperfect too, but I'm doing my best. And it teaches your children such a valuable gift that they don't have to be perfect and that they have natural leadership in them too. And such an important quality of a strong leader is being able to be humble, right? We don't want to raise more perfectionists and people pleasers and performers just chasing success to prove their worth. No, this starts in you and your home, and you get to decide how you will equip them. Not perfectly, but perfectly how you were created and designed to be. And all of those gifts are hidden in those, underneath those lies and those agreements that you've made about who you are and your abilities and your purpose as a leader, as a mother. There is no greater mantle of leadership. There's no other leadership that you are literally chosen for. You don't have to go apply for it or earn it. But you're on assignment, that is for sure. And this assignment matters more than anything, especially right now. So take that conviction, let it fire you up, right? Fan the flame, it says, and own it. Maybe you need to visualize yourself as a leader. How do you carry yourself? What are you wearing even? How do you walk in a room? Do you make eye contact? Right? What does your face look like? What's the countenance? How are you? Yeah, like are you smiling? Are you engaging people? How does a leader show up? And you might have to fake it till you make it. That's okay. Nowhere does it say we just overnight change our beliefs in one practice and all of a sudden we're there. No, this is going to be a daily thing because the story, the narrative that's been running your belief system is so deeply embedded in you. It has been there for decades. So it's not like it ever fully goes away. It's something though that you rewire, and that new wiring will take charge faster. You'll go there quicker and more often. And when you don't, like I said, humility. So in the moments, right, when there's a meltdown or, you're tired, you are, you have worked past your limit, right? You're on the edge of burnout. You have not tended to your own needs, and everything in you wants to just react. Just remember, this isn't just a reactivity moment. This is a leadership moment, right? This is an opportunity for you to choose which version of you gets to show up in the moment and lead. And I know you have this in you. I know it. So we're not going to allow the one that believes that she's failing or a mess or too much or not enough to run the show anymore. Nope. You are the one who knows that she has been chosen for this, that you have unique and wonderful gifts, that you are a one-of-a-kind masterpiece, and that no one can lead your family like you can. right? And you can handle it. You can handle anything because you have God by your side. So even if you didn't grow up knowing how to lead well, which is most people's stories, okay? That's okay. God knows. He knows your kids better than you do. He knows your spouse better than you do. And he knows you better than you do. So let him help you lead. The shift happens in you first, and then you will see it and feel it in your home. I promise you. Okay. I hope this message spoke to you. I'm just so passionate about it. And it really needed to be said, especially on the heels of my event coming up. I was thinking about leadership and being the heart of your home. And, that message is such a personal one. God said to me, Teresa, I chose you for your family. You are the heart of your home, but if your heart stays broken, you will continue leading from a broken place. And I knew it was true. And I know it's true for you too. And broken leaders are the best leaders because we know what it is to walk through some things. Okay. So you're an incredible leader because of your story, but you're not defined by your story. Okay. Not anymore, anyway, because you're going to practice this week. I just want you to start noticing. And even if it's after the fact, grace. Okay. What are you believing about yourselves in those moments when you tend to get triggered, or it's just a time of the day where you're a little more sensitive and you feel out of control and you're not leading from your true identity? What are you agreeing with? What are the lies? What is a truer belief that you can replace that with and start agreeing with today? Maybe go find some scripture to back it up. And remember that you are a natural born leader. You were made for this. You are more than qualified. And it is time for you to rise up and shine as the leader you were created to be. Because your family needs you. And that impact that you have in your family is going to impact your community and generations to come. Okay? All right. Sending you so much love. I hope this spoke to you. And if it did, please share it with another mother to be, spiritual mother, an auntie mother. We all need this message because you are all leaders, every single one of you. And again, if you're not subscribed to the show, make sure you are. New ones drop every Wednesday. I would love if you could leave me a review. That helps me send this show out to more women and grow this beautiful community of bad moms. And if you are available, May 1st, it's here in Tampa. I would love for you to be here for Awaken the Heart of Your Home, the spring session. Don't wait. It's coming up fast. All right. And I will see you next Wednesday. I have an awesome guest to share with you. I'll talk to you soon.